We are officially live. Welcome, everyone. I'm really excited for today. This is your guided weekend autumn manifesting experience. Uh, it's very interesting, as I'm about to hit the go live button here, and there's this obnoxious noise. There's like construction going on, and I don't know if it's going to return, but it's so funny. I pressed the go live button and you see the spinning wheel and the noise outside stopped. Like here I had my microphone, I have the direction of it so that it's away from the noise, so hopefully it wouldn't pick it up for you anyway. Would have been a bit of a distraction for me, but I'm a stubborn person, so I was going to go live anyway. But it's so interesting, these things, these synchronicities that I didn't even require it. I was annoyed by it, and it would have been nice to have a nice quiet live where like I can communicate without that distraction. But it just stopped again. It might come back. It's not a big deal either way. I think it's really interesting that that happened. So this is my first morning live. And again, I'm doing these lives at different times of day out of a certain level of curiosity of like, when are people around on a weekend? When are people around on a weekday? Like what's convenient for them? And in which way and in which times can I serve the most? So um your interaction on this live, not only live in the chat, but after the fact in the comments, helps determine how much I go live, how often I do it, like when I do it. So by all means, if you're liking this stuff, if you're liking what I'm doing, let me know. I'm a pretty confident guy, but sometimes it helps to hear things because, you know, confidence can also hide something, hide things that you're not seeing. Like I don't want to be this overconfident guy, like, this is awesome, it's perfect, they're loving it, and not realize that there might be useful feedback. Case in point, uh, up until like late last month, I was not posting at all on YouTube. I was doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I was scaling things back. I was still answering emails for people, but I wasn't posting on YouTube. And so um it's a long story, or maybe not a long story that I might tell someday, but it came to my awareness like maybe it's time to start like doing stuff on YouTube again. And I'm like, okay, how do I do this? Should I let people know? Good morning, everyone in the chat. How do I let people know? It's like, well, I've got an email list. Let me email them every time I do something on YouTube. And because I'm this maniacal dude that like I overdo everything, I'm emailing them every day. You're probably one of those people right now. I'm emailing you every day. I'm going live, and here's a new video, and da 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 da. And for the most part, I'm getting standard replies if they come in. But there's a couple people that are like, "Hey, Andrew, listen, I love what you're doing, but these emails they're a little too much. Like, please stop. You're overwhelming me." And when you hear stuff like that, you've got to have a certain assumption that there's for as many people that might make the effort to email and say that, there might be people that just aren't bothering to say that. And this is my list. I don't want to bother them. It's like I just want to make sure that they're in the loop and that they're having every opportunity to be served by what I'm doing. Reason I bring this up is this morning I email, and depending on what list you're on, I'm like, listen, just so you know, I'm gonna stop unless you personally reply back to me and request these constant updates. I'm gonna stop emailing about the YouTube stuff because I don't want to overwhelm you. And I sent that out, and that was it. And again, like I do this from a there's no place of like ego, there's no hurt feelings. Like everyone, like they want their inbox to be manageable. Like it doesn't bother me. But the important thing is if people want them, they should get them. And if people don't want them, they should not get them. So I send this message out. And again, you send something out, and in most cases, unless I specifically ask for a reply, and when I do, it's very impressive. But unless you ask for a reply, you don't hear too many people come back. And like within 15 minutes, all these emails came back like, no, keep me on the list. Keep telling me, keep telling me. So it's this amazing affirmation. And it's just kind of like a reminder to you. The reason I'm bringing this up, like here we are, this is like a manifestation session, and part of it will be guided, of course. I want to walk you through some methods this morning, but I also just want to give you useful content that you can take away with you and put into your own life. And I'm telling you this story kind of like as a reminder that even when you feel like you're getting bad feedback on something, you should always assume that you are serving most people, that you're doing, like, as long as your intention is to do the right thing, as long as your intention is to do well in the world and receive good for yourself, you're going that way. As long as that's your genuine intention, as long as you're not purposely trying to hurt somebody or trying to upset them or trying to bring them down in any way, you should never take stuff to heart, that where it's, don't lose your confidence. Don't feel like you're doing something wrong. Lean into the idea. Hey, Milana, great to see you. Hey, Julie. Hey, everybody. Hans, so glad that you're here finally. Um, take stock, understand that things are cool. And I bring that up as a preamble because in the midst of these emails from people saying, "No, Andrew, keep sending me all this stuff. Let me know when you're going on." I got two cool emails that were unprompted. And the first one, I won't give her name because she kind of even said that she's like a private person. So I'm going to leave her name out of it. But she said, "Andrew, you're amazing. I love these. I'm not a big public sharer. I want you to know I appreciate all of these. And I've been doing a gratitude blitz because I hate to write." Again, notice how she doesn't like one method. She's doing another, which is fine. Like, we don't have to love all these methods. We only need one or a few more if we want the novelty that we genuinely enjoy. She said, "I'm a photographer, so I love to gratitude blitz in my head because for me, it's so easy and fun, and I could do it anytime, anywhere. I use time lapse blitz as well." Look at this. She combined two methods and gave it a name. So, like, it's the time lapse blitz. Very interesting. And she says, "I can do it more than once a day if I'm feeling super high because it builds on the high. And yes, things are starting to move. I feel like this feeling is in me even when I'm not doing the blitz." So, really cool, small email there. But I got another message, and this one was quite interesting. And this was in reply to my Gravity of the Cosmos members list. Because again, the interesting thing about Gravity of the Cosmos, I want to send those people fewer emails because I don't want them distracted by the daily Gravity of the Cosmos emails. I want that to be their primary focus because I want it to better facilitate this 90-day journey where they're doing something every single day, and the fewer distractions, the better. So obviously, I was very cognizant of that list. I'm like, listen, unless you tell me you want more, no more. Anyway, this amazing person responds back. I'd never heard from her before. Like, I never, people buy the product and you never hear from them. Like, you never know. But she wrote, "Hi, Andrew. First of all, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your books, emails, Gravity of the Cosmos, your videos, and all the great things and methods that you created. They really changed my life for the better, and in so many ways that I got a bit preoccupied, to say the least. At the moment, I'm doing Gravity of the Cosmos program a second time. I'm on day 71 today. So please go on sending me your emails. They've given me a boost, and I try to watch or rewatch them when possible. I'm from Germany, so the time zone isn't always good for watching it live. And I have my son to take care of. He is a wonder that came. He is a wonder that came when I first did Gravity of the Cosmos. By the way, hopefully the mic's not picking it up. The construction noise outside is back again, which is fine. Anyway, getting back to this email. So to have a son to take care of, he's a wonder that came when I first did Gravity of the Cosmos. I got pregnant at the age of 45 and gave birth to a perfectly healthy and adorable baby boy at the age of 46. I thought that a baby was just not in the cards for me and my husband. But there we are. After 90 committed days of Gravity of the Cosmos, I manifested a baby, a break from work, some money to be able to work part time, and a new group of friends. Now I would like to manifest a house of our own with a garden and two cats because we all love pets, and we would like to raise our son in our own space. We have obnoxiously loud neighbors too. Isn't that interesting? I've got this construction going on. But now I know the discount trigger method from my book. So I use that very often. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. See you in the next videos. I attached a photo of us so that you can look at your friend at your friends here in Germany. I'm not going to share the photo. Just, well, one, I don't know how to screen share yet, but also I figured that might be inappropriate to share the photo because I didn't get permission. I did though want to share that amazing message, and it's really cool because here's someone manifested, and she's giving Gravity of the Cosmos the credit. It's like her and the universe, and just Gravity of the Cosmos, was just this facilitating this. It was this piece that allowed her to engage in the process and manifest it and invite it from the universe. So I'll take the credit in regard that it helping a facilitating piece. But this person, and I don't know if I said her name. I won't. I'll leave it out. uh, but I really appreciate you if you're watching this. Um, she she got this result and I never knew for the longest. And it's just cool because you out there, even like you might not have a book or you're not public facing, you don't know the difference that you might be making in somebody's life. So it's a really cool affirmation. Quick little note, I now that I'm doing these lives, I assume that most of the people who know me, they know me through my books already. But for those that are kind of finding me and learning about me for the first time, my name is Andrew. I'm otherwise known as the guy who wrote the last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. Right here. I also wrote Just Feel Good. All these books are on Amazon in all their formats. Like, they're in paperback, they're in hardcover, they're in Kindle at a very affordable price under $4, and they're audiobook because I know a lot of people have audiobooks. And if you don't want to have to search for them, you can just go to andrewcap.com and I've got easy links for all of them. But I bring this up right now because I remembered like these letters that are these emails that I just got, they were referencing methods from these books. And the stuff that we're going to be doing today is going to be inspired by methods in these books. So if you have the books, this will be easy. This will be familiar. If you don't have the books, that's okay because the way I'm going to guide you in this process today is not going to require that you know the methods ahead of time. And this is by design. These methods are supposed to be very user friendly, very easy to implement, very just turnkey. There should be no issues in using them whatsoever. And that's the real design for this. Now, one more bit of good news before we get into the guided portion, because I want to give you good news. I almost, here we are in autumn. We're in October here. And depending on where the weather is for you, everyone understands what autumn means, even if they're like in a warm weather area. I want this to feel like you're just sitting down with me for a cup of cocoa or a cup of coffee and we're just relaxing and we're just engaging and we're just inviting what we want from the universe through our intention, through our relaxed ease in feeling good while thinking about what we have or what we want or both, which is why I began this session sharing these emails, sharing this good news for you. Um, I also got good news myself this morning. Really cool. I've been very intentional about like my health lately, and because I have been just so busy, I made this real commitment to the YouTube stuff. I haven't been able to work out. So I don't have the benefit of like a fitness aspect contributing to my body at the moment. This is going to change hopefully within the next 5 days or so. I want to knock out a few more things and then I can do that. I'll take time out of the day. But I mention that because without the fitness part to come into play, I had to be strategic and say, what can I do in service to myself to help myself in terms of my health and my body and everything like that? And I just changed my diet. And I'm not here to recommend like what you eat or anything like that. I'm just saying I made a specific change in what food I eat and how I eat it. And this morning, for the first time, I bought one of those Remfo scales 3 years ago. For the first time since I bought that scale, for the first time since I started weighing myself, all of the metrics on the readout on my app, all of them are green. All of them. Even like the tough pesky ones, like I'm gonna mispronounce it, but like the subcutaneous fat or whatever it is. Like there's a certain fat that's like it's really hard to reduce in your body, but it's also unhealthy for you. That's green. And I wasn't really trying to do anything. All I did was intentionally choose what I ate. And this is again another example of like I'm still taking action in the world. It's not like I'm sitting back and letting the universe do everything for me. I was making choices, but by that same token, my body was doing heavy lifting for me. It was responding to my good intentions, responding to my good choices. These are the kinds of things that are always available and always for you. And I say it because like in many ways it's a miraculous thing and in many ways it's an ordinary thing. It's both simultaneously. And I mentioned this on a previous live. A lot of times the stuff it's going to feel normal. It's going to feel so like sometimes it'll feel amazing and sometimes it'll be normal. And it's important to recognize the space for normal because if you don't understand what that means, if you don't expect it to be normal at times, when it is normal, you're going to start to doubt yourself. You're going to doubt the process. You're going to doubt the road that you're on, even if nothing bad is happening, but if nothing great is happening yet. It's very important that you don't doubt yourself in this way and that you don't let yourself get thrown off track. It is such a key vital thing. And like even again, like this is about focus in terms of a commitment to what you're doing. This is about focus in the moment sometimes. Like the past 2 days, there were certain foods that I really wanted to like eat, but I knew that they were going to throw me off track and they would have. These 2 final meals that I went from that to something better. I believe, especially since I've been weighing myself almost every day, those were the final deciding factors in me getting these numbers and this result that I wanted. It was my intention and my commitment. So, good news all around. By the way, as I'm saying this, speaking of focus, again, there's on and off construction. And there was just buzzing about 30 seconds ago. So hopefully, again, the microphone's positioned so it's not to pick that up for you. And it's my hope as I'm doing this that all you hear is my voice so that you can really like settle back, sit down, relax, bask in the journey and the direction that we're going to be taking this in. Um, and I'll probably answer maybe one more email, and of course, in the comments, if this stuff comes in. Awesome, Hans. It's good to know that you're not hearing the construction. It is annoying on this end, but again, it's all good. Okay, cool. So, what are we doing here? This again is your guided weekend autumn manifesting experience. And what I want to do is I want to leverage the season that we're in as an anchoring point to focus on what you want, to focus on what you have, to invite better things. So I figured we could revisit some of the manifesting methods that are either like some of them are from my book, some of them are brand new, maybe even from a couple of lives ago. And we're going to do them like with an autumn context, just to give it a little like knowing that you're in autumn right now, even if around you it's not like a typical autumn type of season experience. Um, there's enough of a link of what that means in your mind to be significant. And again, we're going to personalize this towards you. So even if like you're not a person who's ever even grown up in autumn weather, you've grown up in the time of autumn. You've grown up in the months of September and October and November. So even in that regard, this is going to be beneficial for you. So, uh, let's see here. Real quick in the comments, did anyone have anything you need to throw at me before we start diving into the methods and to the chat rather, because the comments will be later. But if anyone wants anything to throw into the chat before I get started on this, now's your chance. There may or may not be a lag time, so I might even begin but by the time you get a chance to type it. But I figured I'd throw that out at you. Renee's like, let's go. All right, cool. Then we're just going to go with it. All right, cool. So today, the first thing I'm going to explore, and again, readers of this guy, you will be familiar with this one. This is the moment in time method. And just to quickly read off my notes on it, like moment in time is like you're going to imagine a typical day that you might experience when what you want has come into your life. It's only typical because whatever wonderful things you're experiencing are now normal everyday events. So, for example, if you met your financial goals, then living in a beautiful mansion, if that's your thing, is really just a standard. But it's also a wonderful day for you. And if you've met the perfect mate, cuddling with them as you watch your favorite movies or your favorite show, that's also a regular moment for you. It's like you want to choose a moment that's really great, but you also want that version. You want it. It's also one that the version of you who has what they want would experience on a daily basis. Let me break this down and make it a little bit better for you here. Seeing as how it's autumn, I want you to do this moment in time method like in the season of autumn. And what I mean by that is if for you autumn is just warm weather, fine. But for those of you who are like used to autumn weather where the leaves are changing and the weather's getting a little bit cooler, there's a chilly breeze, there's a certain feel to it. I know everyone here in the States and in other countries, they know like autumn is like when you're just getting back to school again. Autumn is just like, it's baseball postseason, football's in full play. Like there's certain things that just they have a flavor of autumn to them. I want you to incorporate that into this visualization, meaning I want you to imagine yourself in the season, like whatever's going on, we're in the season of autumn, excuse me, the season of autumn. So I want you to include whatever visual details that make it clear to you, whether you're looking at pumpkins or Halloween decorations outside people's houses around the block, or again, the leaves are just changing, or the breeze is cooler, or again the football season or baseball playoffs or whatever it might be. Like incorporate that into it, but take close your eyes right now and just take a nice deep breath and put yourself in that place of like you're in a typical day, but it's the typical day now that you've gotten what you want. And as you kind of go down this, if you need clarification, again, so for example, if you've met your financial goals, what does that mean for you in the month of autumn? Are you a cool weather person that you enjoy it, or are you more like a snowbird and like because you have all this money, you'd prefer to move to a tropical location? Like, are you in a tropical location right now in in the season of autumn because that's what you want? Cool, incorporate that in. But if you're looking for the love of your life, maybe a specific thing that you're doing now that you're experiencing this typical day with the love of your life is you're taking a walk outside with them and you're holding hands and you can see all the changing colors of the leaves. You could see all the leaves on the ground. You could see all the pumpkins. You could feel that cool breeze. What is your typical moment in season of autumn? A typical day for you. What are you going through? What are you doing? What choices are you making? Who are you with? What's it really like for you as you do this? As you now manifested the most important things to you, as you are now living the life that you want. You are in the present tense now. You're experiencing this in the moment as you're visualizing this. Now, I want you to feel free and just breathe and take it in. And by all means, don't let me interrupt you if you're really experiencing this right now. Some people will really be feeling it right now. Other people, it'll be really subtle. If you're so inspired, and again, this is in the live chat or in the comments later on, feel free to tell me if there's any kind of insights or if there's any kind of specific experience or any kind of detail that you want to share. Is there a place that you're in? Is there a person that you're with? Is there an emotion you're experiencing? What does autumn mean to you? What is autumn when all of your dreams have come true? What does that mean to you? Don't feel obligated. Don't interrupt yourself. But if anyone's inspired to type anything into the chat, I want to invite you to do that. And I want to invite you just to keep breathing in the meantime if you're not doing that and just take this in. Again, what is a typical autumn day look like for you when you've manifested that outcome, that event, that person, that money, that job, that promotion, that experience, that happiness, that joy, that ease? What do these things look like for you? How's it really coming to you? Okay, so Renee says, it's the tingling of autumn sun on my face on a crisp walk at the edge of the woods. That is awesome. I'm there with you. Like, I could feel that. That's really cool. That's great. Anyone else before I dive into another method for you? And again, I assume and hope there's no lag, so hopefully I don't just skip ahead when someone wants to share anything. But this is cool. Nice quiet Saturday morning here for people watching after the fact or people watching in a different time zone. Okay, awesome. It's sunny in California in September, but I do imagine trees with leaves changing color. Cool. Han says a walk in nature, autumn colors, love of my life. Love it. And Cliff, thank you for your note below before. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. This is great. Let's do another one from this guy. Last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. And let's do the 10 minutes ago method. And the thing about this, for those that are not familiar with the 10 minutes ago method, it's everything that I do and everything I teach is with the understanding and insight of like human nature being what it is, where we unfortunately we make things more complicated than they need to be. We make them more difficult. We almost like we talk ourselves into making it harder and putting it further out of reach than it ever needs to be. And one of those things that a lot of people do is they have difficulty visualizing the moment that they get what they want. Like, what's that going to feel like? Now I have to simulate this ecstatic feeling out of the blue, even if I'm having a quiet day or a slow day or a not so good day. It's a lot of pressure. So the 10 minutes ago method basically relieves that pressure by strategically having you visualize from a different standpoint, i.e., 10 minutes in the future of you getting the news that you got what you wanted. And what I mean by that is like, let's say for you, you're trying to get a new job, and like rather than having the pressure of visualizing, thank you, S. Kelly. I love that method too. Rather than having the pressure of it, like visualizing the moment you get the job and worrying that you're not feeling enough positive emotion, which then creates negative emotion, which then goes against you. Rather than doing that, imagine it's 10 minutes after the fact. because 10 minutes after you got that news, 10 minutes after you've been jumping for joy, you have the freedom on a much wider scale and spectrum to feel whatever level of positivity you want. It could be very calm and subtle at that point. It could still be excited. It could be calm. It could be subtle. It could be anywhere in between. Meaning, whatever emotion that you can access and is accessible to you, that's all that you need. That's more than good. And because we're going to put an autumn spin on this, I just want you to put yourself in that place. 10 minutes. And again, close your eyes if it helps. 10 minutes after you got the manifestation that you wanted, the backdrop is autumn. Again, for you, if it's relevant, it could be the changing color of leaves. It could be cooler weather. It could be baseball postseason on the television in the background. It could be anything that, like pumpkins. It can mean anything that means autumn to you. But in that backdrop of the season, which, by the way, in case you haven't figured out, we're anchoring now to this moment because now you're in autumn right now. So by anchoring the season of autumn and you getting what you want, we're enhancing the reality experience of this to help enhance your vibrational frequency to make it more magnetic for the universe to give you what you want. That's why we're doing this, just in case you were not aware of that. But in this season of autumn, it's 10 minutes ago, you got the news of whatever you wanted. It was the job, the person accepted the date, you got the financial windfall, whatever it is. What are you doing right now? Are you calling somebody to give them the news? Are you posting to social media and making everybody jealous? Are you just basking in the moment? Are you thinking about what you need to do now that you got the thing that you want? Like, okay, you got the job you want. Like, you better pick something nice to wear for the first day. Like, are you picking the thing that you have to wear for your first day to work? Are you trying to compose like a really professional sounding thing on LinkedIn to let everybody know about your new promotion or your new job? Like, what are you doing in for your Did you get a new car? And are you calling somebody to come like to drive you there so that they can drop you off and then you can drive your car home? Like, what plans are you doing? What moves are you making? What choices or decisions are you going through in the season of autumn? With this backdrop, like whatever autumn is happening for you right now, whatever change of season, whatever change of weather if that's there, whatever might be on the television, whatever might be the indicator. Han says sitting down and letting it sink in, like, wow, it actually happened. And that is a great note because, and that's a very common thing. Like even for me, I again I weighed myself this morning. Everything was green for the first time. Like for the longest time, most of it was green, but there was always a couple of yellow things. Luckily, they weren't red because that's bad on this app. But yellow, like, but I finally saw everything green, and I was so busy this morning because I wanted to prepare this presentation, this experience for you. But I did have to take a minute out and sit down and like stare at my phone, look at the screen on the app, and look at all the greens. And I really had to take it in like, wow, this thing took 3 years, and it was my fault because I wasn't very disciplined with my diet. But it's here, like it happened. And it's like, it's almost like, oh, this feels so ordinary. I almost want to like try to force myself to feel more of the significance and really take it in. But then again, when I just read an email from somebody who got pregnant at 45 and had a beautiful, healthy son at 46, to me, that kind of, not to judge myself, that dwarfs my thing. So there's even that significance that, although everything here is miraculous, everything here is amazing, and I don't want to lose sight of that either. But think about this. Like for you, you're 10 minutes from now, it might just be like letting it sink in and trying to process that, whoa, this is my new life now. This thing actually happened. Okay. This is who I am now. Like I feel like the same person, but this is my life now. Very cool. P.S. It's autumn. P.S. I'm acknowledging that because that's anchoring this in my mind right now to help attract this in a more profound, in a more efficient, in a more enjoyable way. Very cool. Good stuff. All right, guys. I'm gonna try to remember it. We're gonna do a method that I recently did on a live. I think it was yesterday. I think it was my first session yesterday. The moment meld method, but we're going to incorporate the season of autumn into this. So, for the moment meld method, I want you to. This is the spin on it. I want you to think of a time in your life in the season of autumn. Like think of a time in September or October or November that you could think back to, you could look back to, and you just smile. like a time in your life that was just like, this was fun. It could have been a party that you went to, it could have been your wedding, it could have been a vacation, it could have been starting a new job, it could have just been starting the school year and you look forward to seeing your friends. Whatever it might be, think back to a time that just it automatically triggers a positive emotional experiential reaction from you. And once you've chosen that, I want you now to think of a manifestation that you really want. Like, what's something that you're really looking forward to? Again, it could be anything. It could be around money, it could be around health, it could be around relationships, it could be around your business, it could be around your job, it could be around friends, family, whatever. What's this manifestation that you're looking to get? And whatever that manifestation is, what is an indicator that you've actually gotten it? So again, the new job is always easy because people can extrapolate from there. But a very easy indicator that you got a new job is you received either a notification on your phone for an email, or if we wanted to do like an old school analog version, somebody just called you on a phone, or you got the news yesterday in a phone call, so you just know about it. Whatever it might be, like what is an indicator for you that this manifestation that you've wanted, that it's yours now? And whatever that thing is, I now want you to close your eyes and I want you to take yourself back to that past autumn, that wonderful event that you just like, it always brings joy to your face. It always brings a smile to your face and joy to your heart. And imagine that indicator being explored by somebody that you're with, or in some way, shape, or form at that past moment. For example, again, if it's the first day of school, someone someone could be, and again, this could be wacky stuff. It could be like almost bending reality, where maybe one of your friends is like, "Hey, I heard you got that new job. Congratulations." But it's the first day of school. It's that backdrop. It's you remembering that. Or again, it's your wedding. Imagine like the best man speech, and then the person gives an announcement, and also, I'd like to announce that there's a brand new job for this person, or a brand new house, or whatever it might be. Whatever that indicator that you got the thing that you wanted, imagine it being reported or delved into or explored in some way, shape, or form in that past moment for you. So you're in the past, right? And now I want you to kind of like move yourself to the present moment right now and have a situation where it's being affirmed now in the present autumn, in this right now, in today, in 2025. Like what's happening? October 4th, 2025. You're getting that indicator. How does it feel? Who's saying it to you? What's the news like? Get that affirmation in there, or get that experiential piece in there. And then kind of like almost like blink and send yourself back in time again to that original earlier moment that was completely different. Obviously, you were happy in that place for different reasons. But again, this indicator is being explored in some way. It's being reported to you. You're speaking about it. You're hearing about it in some way. And then bring yourself again to the present moment. And you're getting that feedback. You're getting that indicator that you've manifested what you want. You're just basking in that and letting that sink in for you. And again, bring yourself to the past. This really cool, fun moment. What's happening here? How's it being articulated? How's it being described? That's up to you. Whatever you feel works best for you, whatever makes a visceral impression on you, whatever that thing might be. And finally, again, bring yourself into the present one more time, experiencing it. And this could be a really profound thing. Maybe your solar plexus is buzzing right now. Maybe you're really like in a heightened emotional state, or maybe it feels completely ordinary. Doesn't really matter which one it is. The ordinary version of this goes places. The ecstatic version of this goes places. Both of them take you places. Both of them shift your vibration in the right way. Both of them take you in the right direction. Just let that sit for a minute. Now, I don't know if something will change my mind, but I have two more methods planned for you for this live. So, first one I want to do is a time lapse. And again, we're going to do a time lapse with an autumn spin on it. And the autumn spin is basically, so quick little recap, time lapse method for people that haven't read this guy yet. Um, Time lapse method is a gratitude method where you're basically going to use your gratitude for the past and present things to anchor and feel better and also have a stronger pull towards the future things that you want to manifest. And what you're going to do is like it could be three things each, it could be five things each. It doesn't really matter. It could be one thing each, but you want to choose things from your past that you're grateful for, things from your present that you're grateful for, and things from your future that you want that, of course, you would be grateful for. Right. And all this is going to be that as you note these things, they're going to be phrased or communicated or experienced in the present tense. So a typical way of doing this would be like you write down five things from your past that you're grateful for. You write down five things from your present that you're grateful for. You write down five things from your future that you're grateful for. And then you jumble up the list. And with this jumbled up list, with present here and followed by a past, followed by another present, followed by another future, everything mixed in, you just go through one item at a time and you feel or express gratitude for that thing before moving on to the next thing. And the power of this method, the reason why it's one of my favorite, is because we don't downshift psychologically very easily. So as you're going through the past items and the present items, there's going to be a certain level of authenticity and potency to the gratitude that you feel because you actually got these things. They're actually real. They either did happen for you or are happening for you right now. And you can't fake that. You can't manufacture that. But because we don't downshift very easily, and you've intermingled and like mixed up the future items in that list, when you're reading a future item and you're experiencing gratitude on that, you're leveraging and carrying over the gratitude from the other stuff. So you're feeling the same sense of gratitude for the future thing. It's a wonderful experience. The way that we're simply going to shift this for autumn is what we're going to do. We are going to like pretty simply just do pick things from the past that you got in a September, October, or November. Think things from the present, obviously, because you're in these months that you could have it, and just imagine what that future thing would be like for you in the season of autumn if there's any kind of impact. Again, if you're looking for a new job, then you imagine that your commute to work is around leaves with changing colors. If meeting the love of your life, you might imagine, like, again, taking a walk with them out with it, and there's a cool, chilly breeze, whatever it might be. But ponder these things. Think of some past, think of some present, think of some future. You might want to type it out on your computer screen. You might want to write it down. And you just want to mix them up and just have them rooted in the season of autumn. Have them rooted in the idea and the energy of today, of what it feels like today, even from the past. This is what I want you to do. And just ponder and just think about it. And maybe you don't want to write it down right now. Maybe you're just like thinking of these things. It's not exactly a time lapse, it's a modified time lapse, but that's fine. As long as you're giving yourself the opportunity to be grateful for things from your past and your present, and then anchoring that and being grateful for things that you want in your future. And again, we're going to relate them to the season of autumn just to enhance the nowness, for lack of a better word or lack of an actual word, the nowness of it. Like it's happening now. You're embedding that in your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That's what this is all about. And again, we're doing like a little weird spin, and I don't usually don't do like a live time lapse because like a standard time lapse is you don't have someone like talking you through it in this way. You sit down in a quiet spot. There's no distractions. You're not looking at a chat. You're not looking at a screen. You literally like write stuff down or you type stuff out, and you kind of like sink into it and you really ponder it. So I'm not even necessarily giving you this as a guided experience, although if you're following me, awesome. I'm more like giving this to you as like guidance or advice for after we do this live, whenever you want to do something. And you can do this in the season of spring, related to spring or summer or winter, because maybe there's things from your past that, like, you had a great winter one time, or you had a great summer, or a great spring. That might be really powerful to leverage that when you get into that season, or any day of the year, really, because the time lapse is always powerful. It's always really effective. Okay. Last method I want to teach today, and I have one email to answer after that, so I got a little more for you after that. But the last method I want to explore today is this is something that I introduced, I think, yesterday in my first guided workshop. This is the three of me method. And I want you to take stock of who you are and where you are in your life right now. Now, I'm sure your life is not perfect. It's possible you're not as happy as you should be right now, but there's also, I would say, highly probable that there are things in your life, at least one or two things that you have now, that you have access to, that are a result of a past version of you, a version of you from years ago doing something. Like if you're happily married, well, it's the you from the past that went on those dates. It's the you from the past that invested energetically and put yourself into that relationship. If you have a job right now, it's the you from the past who interviewed to get that job. It's the you from the past who went to school and built out their skill set so that they can apply for the job and get through the interview and all that stuff. Again, if whatever it might be, whatever you have in your life right now, big or small, there's a past version of you who did the heavy lifting to get you there. And whether you realize it or not, obviously cooperated with the universe. But I want you to kind of close your eyes and I want you to see that person. And if possible, I mean, we want to try to bend this to autumn, but if you can't, that's okay. But try to see that version, a past version of you in the month of autumn. Maybe this was you from a year ago, or maybe this was you like from an autumn of 5 years ago. But a past you from that autumn, I want you to kind of like picture yourself in front of them and you're looking at them and you kind of put your hand on their shoulder. And I want you to thank the earlier you for whatever they did so that you have what you have now. Thank them for the stress they went through, the work they went through, the worry they went through, the energy they expended, the commitment they made, the time they invested, the money they invested, the emotional equity they invested, whatever it is. Have your hand on their shoulder and just thank them. Thank them for doing that so that you could enjoy it. I wrote this in 9.5 weeks in 2019. Don't even like don't doubt that I go back in time a lot of times and I thank the Andrew from 2019 who took those 9.5 weeks out and poured himself into that and left everything off to the side so that I can do this kind of stuff today. Thank you, Renee. But the method's not even open, Renee. There's more to it. Because as you've got your hand on this earlier version of yourself's shoulder, I want you to close your eyes if they're not closed already, and I want you to feel a hand on your shoulder. A warm, loving touch. A hand on your shoulder from the version of you from a year from now or 2 years from now or any time in the future who's thanking you for everything you've done and everything you're doing to get them all the stuff that they want. The money they want, the love they want, the promotion, whatever it might be. As you've got your hand on that shoulder of the earlier version of you, you could feel the warm touch, the warm hand of the future the future you being grateful to you, being appreciative, recognizing who you are. And this is important because remember, when it was you in the past doing these things so that you could have whatever you have today, big or small, they weren't anticipating what it would be like to have a future version of them thanking them. So it didn't feel like out there or amazing. Just the way right now you're like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything special. You are. Even just 5 minutes a day of feeling good while thinking about what you have or want or both, just your commitment to be on this live or to watch it after the fact. These are the small, little, ordinary, so called ordinary things that are contributing to the vibrational frequency that will contribute to the inspired action, that will contribute to the cooperation between you and the universe, that will get you the things that you want. So, that person with their hand on your shoulder, thanking you, how you feel right now is exactly how you're supposed to feel. It's kind of like, oh shucks, me, I did it. Yes, you're not only did you do it, you are doing it, and you're going to continue to do it. What I'm doing right now, I'm making investments in my time and energy that a future version of me, whether it's a year from now or later, he's going to be really grateful. I'm cognizant of that on purpose. It helps motivate me. It helps keep me on point. It really does. And by the way, this method that I came up with it on the fly in a manifesting method workshop yesterday where I was just demonstrating how to create and build your own manifesting methods spontaneously. I want to do a demonstration of spontaneity so that other people can be like, check out. I did two different sessions and they kind of both complement one another. So check out those two lives. This is a brand new, fresh method, but it's like to me, it's amazingly profound because it really anchors you. It anchors you in with who you are, what you're doing, your purpose. It anchors you in like moving forward with the smallest of things so that you're confidently pushing forward and in the right direction of what you want. So the three of me method is I'm definitely gonna record like a video standalone just for that for sure, because it's so powerful. It really is. It's one of my favorite methods. And the really cool thing about it is it can be modified if you want to towards a specific thing. It could be the 3 of me money method. It could be the 3 of me love method. It could be the 3 of me health method, where you're thanking an earlier version of yourself for whatever that level of money or health or love you have now. And then you're imagining that person from the future, that you from the future, doing the same thing. It really is. It's a big deal in my opinion. Like it's cool. And by the way, like it might feel profound, like Renee is experiencing, and it might feel subtle. Either way, it's powerful. These things are so powerful. I was talking about, again, I don't want to be in the vibration of like, lack of health or anything like that. But the reason I'm being so intentional with my body is because sometimes, if you're not vibing high and you're not looking out for yourself, not doing things, there are subtle things that you don't feel that are a detriment to you physically, right? The foods that you're eating, and whatever it might be. Just the way that you don't feel that stuff happening in the moment that may be, more of a negative impact physically, you might not even realize the profound positive impact you make for yourself by being on a call like this, by being on a live like this and following along, or not showing up here, but in your own time, in your own way, independently, sitting down and doing methods. There's like, and again, I like variety. So there's 19 methods in this one, or 20. I think there's one or two methods in this guy, including the method that I do every single day. Every single day. I recently named it, and I didn't name it in Just Feel Good, but it's officially called the Buddy Blitz method. Anyone that's seen enough from me, they kind of know what that is already. But real quick in the chat, how's so far today and this most recent method in particular, how are these resonating with you? I know Renee's feeling it. How's everyone else doing with this? Feel free to throw in the chat as I'm pulling up a question that I know I want to answer for someone that I promised I would try to do. What do we got here? Hans says, this is amazing. Thank you so much, Hans. Anyone else? It's very interesting because we got a decent house, but we've also got a quiet crowd tonight, this morning. This is my first morning one. I might have to start doing later ones because that's when people are like really lively. Renee says it gave me more than the 5 of happiness. Okay. As Kelly says, love them. I used the 3 of me since you introduced it. Beautiful. Milana says, love the autumn focus. Douglas says, just tuned in. Yes, did this one yesterday too. I love it. Thank you so much for that, Douglas. And real quick, while you guys are interactive and while you're responsive, for those that have seen these lives or just like are familiar with me, is there anything like, are you liking what I'm doing? Is there something specific that you want from me? Do you want me to teach more methods? Do you want me to go down certain roads? What part do you want me just to help keep you on track and keep you consistent with these law of attraction manifesting methods? Is there something that you would like me to be cognizant of and to be more intentional of to keep delivering value to you? We'll see if that pops in. In the meantime, we've got Christine saying, it makes me miss living somewhere where the leaves turn colors. That's okay, Christine, because again, like, wherever you are, there's beauty even when the leaves aren't turning colors. So wherever you are, you can still bask in that beauty while simultaneously like thinking of the beauty from the past. And both of them have validity and both of them can serve you. Milana says, doing the buddy blitz with my boyfriend. Awesome. It's so much more powerful to do it with a friend. It is, Milana. And I'm actually, again, hopefully I can do this soon. But I've been working on a way that, like, you've got your boyfriend, and wow, that's great. Most people can't find somebody reliable to do this with, even when they've got good people in their life. So I'm working on a way so that all of you can have each other to do this with. We'll see if I pull it off, but I'm working on a really cool way to make that happen. Um, Paul Thompson says, it's great. They resonate with me. Thank you very much, Paul. Yeah, while I'm waiting to see if anyone does want to chime in about anything specific that they want from me, um, the Buddy Blitz method that I do every single day myself, like this is I love all my methods, obviously, because I teach them. This is the one I do every day just because for me, it's convenient, it's efficient, it's quick, it's simple. I mean, they're all these things, but this one really clicks for me for my personality. Like, for example, it involves speaking. For me, I don't like handwrite a lot because I'm not used to it. I don't want my hand to cramp up. If yours doesn't cramp up, use writing because it's powerful. For me, I get too impatient with it, but you could probably tell I'm a chatterbox. So this method involves me speaking. So I use it every single day. It's very powerful, but it's It's enhanced. It's not required, but enhanced when you've got somebody that's with you doing it back and forth. But since so many people like they'll find someone and they'll do it for like a week and then they'll fall off. I'm going to figure out a way, or I have kind of, but I'm going to hopefully execute on a way that you're going to have each other to do this with so that you will always have not just one reliable person to exchange this method with, but multiple reliable people. So I'm working on that. As Kelly says, that would be great. Renee says, I really enjoyed the clear explanations of how 5 minutes of feeling good can do for you. Thank you so much, Renee. And for those wondering, like last week's videos, not this past week's, but the week prior, I really like was doing a lot of delving into that area. If you want to check out those recent videos, the lives from there, um, it's this note that I really harp on because it's so simple, and sometimes people think it's too simple. This is too simple to work. It's too basic. There's got to be something more to it than that. And in both Alive, which I think might have been from last Friday, I think it's all a blur. From that live and on also the video I posted that morning, I actually like went into what I call manifestational math. You can kind of like scroll through my YouTube channel and it's the silly thumbnail unless I change it where it's like my head over like a cartoon teacher put with a pointer on the board that says manifestational math. I actually break down numbers of like, oh, sure, I said 5 minutes a day is enough, but is it really enough? I break down the numbers of how or why 5 minutes a day is actually mathematically enough for you to be in the positive direction and have the right vibration to start manifesting what you want. Um, hey Petra, how you doing? You're joining us a little late here, but that's cool. It's so happy to have you here right now, and just know you're going to have the whole replay because I covered a lot of cool, what I think are a lot of cool methods today. And I really want you to give yourself the opportunity after the fact to go check out the replay and enjoy everything that I walk you through. All right. While we're waiting to see if anyone has something to chime to the chat, someone emailed me. Oh, Germany. Beautiful. Love it. So someone wrote me this morning in the midst of all the other emails. She said, Hi, I have a question. This may sound weird, but I've started getting dimes from the universe, and there was a dime sitting on top of my washer, and it fell off and was between my washer and dryer when I tried to get it out, and it slid into the tile, and now I can't get it. Is this trying to tell me something? And this was from Laura. So obviously, Laura, you want to take what I say with a grain of salt because we're operating on my gut instinct here and on my opinion and on my interpretation. Um, but I feel that you're in this really interesting point where these dimes, again, I keep holding up the book because I don't know how many people are learning about me for the first time. I talk about universal raindrops in the book, and it's, in my opinion, a really good explanation. But the long and short of it is when you're on the right path, the universe is going to start giving you subtle little signs that what you want is actually inevitable. Kind of like Laura getting all these dimes. That's telling me that money is on the way. In the midst of all that positive momentum, the ego, which I also discussed in the book, is that part of you that is so scared about you changing your life, even in a positive way, because it cannot predict or calculate if that change, even though it is good for you, if that change will be a threat to your survival. And your ego will therefore try to find ways of talking you out of your progress. I believe you almost subconsciously like knocked it in. It's there, and it's your ego that's making you worry that it might be a bad sign, but it's not. If anything, it's just a one small minor test to make sure that you're still committed to this, and that you can just as easily as you can receive money, you are so expansive enough. You are so abundant that if a dime here and there slips between the machines, it's not a big deal to you. So it's kind of like a thing where the universe is saying, like, this isn't about getting money perfectly every day. This is about you having more than enough money so that even like, I don't know if you invest in stocks, but if you were, I'd be saying, like, if you're the type that invests in stocks, for all those good days you have so many and you have so much money and so much abundance, you could afford the bad days as well. You could afford the dips, whatever might be going on. So my opinion, um, see this as a minor test from your ego and a minor indicator that it's okay even when things aren't going perfect. And by the way, don't put pressure on yourself to keep getting these dimes. They might continue, they might stop, they might turn into pennies, they might turn into quarters, they might turn into direct deposits or who knows what. Don't assign any requirement to them, but that hopefully that's a thorough answer for you. And really, the main thing is just to stay the course. Even bad signs are good signs. And like a bad sign for me, again, this is my opinion, this is the way I go about it. It's basically the last gasp of an older version of my life that's trying to hold on, which is fine. There's going to be residual reaches from the past. It's fine. And it has to be fine for you, because if it's not fine, then you're not going anywhere. It's got to be something like, yeah, this is listen, I dealt with this thing for a decade, or I dealt with this thing all my life. It's not a big deal, because I'm going forward in this type of thing, and I'm inviting more. So the dimes will probably keep coming. This one slipping between machines, no big deal. No big deal. Your ego really cares about you. Your ego is so desperate for your survival, and it's misguided in the way it's trying to hold you back, but it's in your corner in the worst way. It's in your corner. It's kind of like it's like a disapproving parent who thinks they know best, but they don't understand that like you're actually doing something with whatever it might be, or disapproving anybody. They think they know best. They care about you. They want what's good for you, and they don't realize that now you're grown and you're to the point where you know what's good for you. You know already, and now that you know what's good for you, we're going by your rules now. It's on your terms. That's my perspective. Um, Stannis says, "Sorry, Andrew, caught the end of it. That's okay. Again, these are live, and and by thank you for dropping into the chat while you're still here. But this is why I keep these up on YouTube for replays. I want people to find this tomorrow. I want people to find this afternoon. I want people to find this 5 years from now. I want people to always have access to these and be served at the right time for them. So enjoy what little time we have here right now, but just know that you're always welcome to keep coming back. And I'm going to probably keep experimenting with different times of day, trying to determine like when people can really be around, or at least hit on a few people at a certain time. Petra says, Andrew, once more, give your book. Okay. Request for German translation. In terms of language translations, um, I want to. It's like hopefully sooner rather than later. It's an interesting task. I've got to figure it out. It's one of those things where it doesn't need me and it needs me at the same time. So I'm really hoping I can. I know, especially with advances in AI, I'm hoping at some point soon I could engage in that process. I'm hoping for German. I'm hoping for Spanish. I'm hoping for French. I'm hoping for all sorts of different languages for people. I hope I have good news for you about that sooner rather than later. I wish I'm apologize that I don't have solid news for you right now. Stannis said this Anastasia will be rewatching them all. Awesome. Renee says, if you want me to translate, let's talk. I mean, Renee, please feel welcome to email me. I should warn you that like every person that's emailed me, I've kind of I've held them off because I'm not ready yet. But please feel welcome to email me. Tell me about your translation experience, or what it might be, because when I pull the trigger, it might be really relevant. And obviously, want to make sure that I pay you decently if you end up doing it. But please, and you probably have my email, but if you don't, you can just go to andrewcap.com, scroll past all the cool Amazon links, and there's a contact section, and you can just reach out. But I should warn you, I want your email right away. I want it today, but I should fairly warn you, I'm not ready to move forward today. But please give me whatever details um, are relevant for me of what you can do, and it would be highly appreciated and highly valuable for me. Petra also offered regarding German. See, and by the way, Petra, I have your. If you offered, I have your email on file. But feel welcome. If it's not trouble, shoot me another email today. Again, I've got your email on file. I don't delete these. When people ask about this stuff and they offer, I don't discard it. I don't think like I don't overlook it. So please, apologies that the answer won't be yes today, but your email it doesn't go unnoticed. It doesn't go unappreciated. Um, Stana can help with Russian translation. Cool. And I've got a couple of offers on that too. That's the interesting thing. Like so many, what a gift to have so many cool people for so many different languages offering. Stana, please, if you haven't emailed me already, if you did, it's on file, but email me again also, just so that I have a refreshment of people here that want to do it. But I am grateful. Like, what an amazing thing to have people enjoy the content so much that they already like they don't need it because they already understand the content, but to want them to have fellow people who speak their native language experience and enjoy this, like that, it's an amazing gift, and it's so gratifying to know this. um, to understand that my content's making an impact. And part of the reason that it's not translated already is like I'm not on a big publisher. I'm independently published. I do my own thing, meaning it's on me to oversee at the very least all these translation details. Um, so there's that. Um, if I was with like a big publisher, this I'd imagine the book would have already been published in like 30 languages. Who knows? Maybe more. But let's see. We'll see where that goes. Um, Hans, I mean, again, you email me so often, which I love. I don't even need a reminder, but feel free to email like a reminder, like, "Hey, I do Dutch. Like, if you want to help with Dutch, when I do that, that would be so awesome and so appreciated." And also, again, like I've had people offer to do it for free. I'm not going to take anyone's work for free, even if they want to. So, part of this involves making sure that I've budgeted my company resources for this properly in terms of languages and all that stuff. Everyone needs to be paid fairly if they do this kind of work, if they take their time and energy. Um, so there's that too. All right, really cool. So we've hit an hour. I've hit on everything that I've wanted to here, and again, you'll notice I'm trying to be just, I'm attacking this all with these thanks, Hans. We might involve that also. Feel free to, again, no pressure, but feel free to email me. Um, but yeah, like a lot of what's going on here is again, I'm just, as I'm re-engaging with YouTube, I want to just find like creative spins on this because the message is the same. It's a very simple, basic message of what we're talking about here. Like this, keep it basic, keep it simple, feel good while thinking about what you have or what you want or both. But if you need to install a little bit of novelty to keep yourself, incentivized to do it on a daily basis, people don't need it, but some people do. So I'm going to give this to you. Today was about leveraging the moment that you're in. In this case, we're in the season of autumn to your benefit to put a new spin on the methods, a new experience for them that you can then, now that you've done this, those that have the book, try to take this spin into some of the other methods that you might enjoy on a regular basis. Like really use it to your benefit. But with that said, that's all I wanted for you today. I was thinking of doing two of these. I think one's enough for today. We'll leave it at that. I might be back tomorrow with a live. I'm definitely going to be doing a Monday evening one, Monday evening Eastern time. Like it's a thing that I'm trying to do, manifesting Monday. So maybe tomorrow I'll be back with a live. Definitely Monday. Um, we'll make it fun. We'll make it exciting. Thank you very much, everyone, for sticking around with me. I really hope this was of benefit for you, and I very, very much look forward to seeing you again in the very near future. Thanks.